backdrop because Throw has a blue bandana.
Alright, looks like we're off.
And we are off.
Oh, of course, Kin's going for it. So mix is what happens when you inhale two enemies. Oh, unfortunately, you got Mike. And then mix starts this sort of roulette wheel that cycles through the abilities really, really quickly. And if you have the right timing, there's no real randomness to it. But if you have the right timing, you can select pretty much any ability that you want. And what Kinnin wanted was to get wheel, but unfortunately got Mike, which I think is one off. And so he's just going to do the rest of the level normally. So as a result, Speedman has a bit of a lead already in the first level.
Yeah, right off the bat. So I do believe that, I'm not sure which games it's in. I think it's in this game. You have about like 4 frames for each ability on the roulette wheel.
Right.
So it's a really tight window, but doable by any means.
Yeah. And so just a simple kill for this mini boss. All you need to do is throw 2 enemies into it.
Yeah.
When you inhale one.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, like, if you inhale one enemy, you get what we call a single star, and it does less than half the damage if you inhale 2 or more enemies, which is a double star. Another nice feature about the double star is that it passes through things instead of breaking upon first contact.
So, yeah, a similar ability is gained when you have throw as well. So it pretty much just makes any single projectile into a double star.
Right. And so now we're going to see the first speed ability. Unfortunately, Ken didn't get wheel, but without wheel, the first speed ability is burning. And burning is nicely routed so that, well, you're invulnerable while you're in the burning animation, but you become like a sitting duck after it expires.
Yeah, that invulnerable also has a little asterisk next to it in this game because you can't go through spikes. I know you can do that in some other games, but in this game, wheel and tornado, you still take damage even when you're mid-attack if you hit spikes. But you can still go through Gordos with no problem.
So, Speedman got through his mini boss no problem. This is Mr. Frosty. Essentially what we're doing is that they're standing on the right, bonking into the wall, and then sort of the back draft or whatever of the burning hits Mr. Frosty. You just do 5 times, and it's pretty safe to do it from that position.
As long as you hold right, it keeps just up against the wall, and the little pullback from each burning attack hits Frosty.
Alright, so now we're coming up to the first boss, Wispy Woods. Pretty simple boss. All you need to do is time your burning so that it's wispy as right when Wispy's invincibility frames expire.
Yeah, so there are actually faster abilities that you can use to kill Wispy, like Spark or Needle, but burning it's a lot faster to keep burning for 2-1 than it is to drop it and try and do it without a speed ability. So while it is slower on Wispy, you save a decent amount of time in 2-1, and again, it's very well routed.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make these trade-offs with bosses, just like a suboptimal ability for killing a mini-boss or boss, just to maintain like a speed ability.
Yeah, for the most part, it's not that much of a problem, or for the killing a boss with a speed ability that's just really slow. Most of the time, the trade-off is in the damaging ability's favor. Like in World 3, where we have to fight Bugsy, we drop high jump in favor of sword, but high jump would be faster for movement. But sword kills Bugsy much, much quicker.
Alright, so now we're coming up to an interesting strat. Speedman's going to try to get a double star out of this. Nice. And once again, for these weaker mini-bosses, it'll just one-hit them.
Yeah. It's not for all mini-bosses, however.
Yeah, their health values increase over the course of the game.
Yeah.
So this double star thing will eventually stop working. Okay, so Speedman missed the timing for the goal game. If you hit it as early as possible, Kirby sort of bounces up immediately, gets to the lowest level, and that's like the quickest way to advance past the goal game. Unfortunately, he missed it, so Kirby dropped all the way down to the bottom. It still gives you the lowest level, but it's a little bit slower. One thing I should say about these goal games is that like each frame, it gives you a different animation, and the slowest one to get sort of the first couple frames is the one where Kirby slowly climbs up to level 6, and that one wastes more time than any of the like a second compared to all the nearby frames.
I think it's like a 1.5 seconds or 1.6. It's something around there that can really start adding up in the end.
Yeah, and it's just like literally one frame, and like the ones around it are perfectly fine in comparison.
Yeah, Shasta was telling me that like, while you can get the grab, there are also like different heights within each thing. Like Speedman got a medium height 7 right there. Like if you get medium heights every single time throughout your run, as compared to the lowest possible height in 7, I think Kinnin just got, that you actually lose like 6 seconds over the course of the entire run because of that.
Yeah, like every frame is like basically a different animation.
Yeah. Speedman has Spark here. Like I said, trade-off with abilities. This is it, just shreds bosses. And as long as you do everything pretty well in some very generous timing windows, TikTok is not going to touch you at all. And it's no problem.
Speedman's been maintaining his lead pretty much this entire time after Kinnin missed the mix.
Yeah,
still pretty close. Yeah, still very early as well.
Yeah, first 2 worlds are very... it's very consistent, and there's not much variation you can do to make it faster, unless you're like Halo Dude.
Yeah, so right there, Speedman got the level 6 slow climb that we were talking about. And if you compare it to what Kinnin just got, it's like over a second slower.
Speedman with some good timed jumps right there, getting between those cannon shots. It's always satisfying. And only inhaling 1 wheel. Inhaling 2 wheels comes later in the game.
Yeah. If you were to accidentally inhale 2 wheels, then it would start giving you a mix, and that's not what you want.
Yeah. Although, in one race, someone inhaled 2 wheels, did the mix, randomly pressed A and got wheel. So
nice.
It worked out.
Alright, so I should mention a little bit about wheel. You cannot jump with it while you're in wheel form, and if you're in the air, you slow down, like you decelerate significantly.
So you need to actually be touching the ground to move effectively with wheel.
Yeah. And as you saw, both players switch to high jump. This will be very useful for this this boss, Paint Troller.
Yes, he has multiple like hurt boxes on him, and the closer you are to his center, the more damage you do. So if you try and play it safe and stand kind of far from him and still hit him, you're not going to do any damage. And again, on wheel, they secretly added ability mixing back into Kirby Squeak Squad. They added the mix of wheel and high jump.
Indeed. Alright, so World 3 is butter building. Basically, it's a lot of, I would say like several levels which have like sort of vertical design to them.
Yeah.
And high jump is going to feature a lot in it.
Yeah, whenever I solo, I always talk about like vertical and horizontal abilities. Like high jump is obviously vertical, and for horizontal you've got burning and wheel as your main ones. So there's just a lot of levels that require you to go upward. Like this one right here, if you don't have your high jump, this next room for Speedman is just a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
High jump is really easy.
Yeah, so the way that high jump works is that you can press B either on the ground or in the air, and this is the difference between the original Kirby's Adventure, of which this game is a remake. And you can also cancel it anytime. But in order to do another high jump, you need to land back on the ground and sort of refresh it.
Yeah, kind of like Mario's down B in Melee.
Alright, so this is the aforementioned sword on Bugsy fight that Speedman's currently in.
So Bugsy pretty much just likes to back up just barely out of your range and then grab you and put you in really long animations. Like that.
Speedman electing to keep sword to finish that fight. I think like if he were to just spit it out, it probably would have killed, but
yeah,
maybe not worth taking that risk. Alright, Kinnin getting a pretty clean
no
fight
big
there.
deal after that fight. You might as like if you lose it and you see he has no health left, you are losing almost nothing. You're just maybe skipping out and killing one enemy in the next room because you get high jump right back in 3-3.
Yeah, and sword is not one of those speed abilities, so it's pretty much the same as just normal running.
Yeah. So, yeah, there are kind of 3 damage abilities, like DPS abilities that we use. Speedman with the swag strats. I love it. I always do it. Kinnin with the lame strats. Yeah, that they just go around the top there. You can get around the top and back to the door in time before it opens. 2 things I want to mention. And after forgetting the first, I'm going to talk about the other for now. That room where I was saying swag strats and whatnot. In original Kirby's Adventure, of which Swordsman said this game is a remake, you actually had to like keep moving to the right and going around the room, and like the tower rotated with you. But in this game, you just have to wait for the door to open, and it's kind of lame, I think, compared to the original. But among my own opinions, there are some slight differences between rooms in this game and rooms in the original, and they're just some that they just completely changed.
Right. Yeah, so unfortunately Speedman lost high jump. I guess we haven't really mentioned these arena fights. A lot of the times these like Meta Knight shows up and spawns his minions. It's fast. Yeah, the Meta Knights. It's often faster to just like go powerless than to try to keep like a speed ability of any kind during those fights. I want to say, unlike most enemies in this game which die in one hit, those take a couple hits. So if you're to use like an actual speed ability, you'd have to do multiple hits and it just take too long. It's faster to just go without any ability.
Yeah, I'd also like to mention the lead change. Kinnin just pulling ahead right here in 3-5. So now Kinnen's winning. Winning 11.
So the room that Kinnin is in, Speedman is just about to enter, has these crash bombs. And what you want to do is you want to kill them before they hit the ground. Otherwise, they sort of freeze the screen for their crash animation.
It's really annoying, and it can totally like eat your inputs, and you do really stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And that frog is also really annoying, the one that Speedman just bumped into. So yeah, the room that Speedman is waiting in now, you have to like run all the way around like that one Battletoads level. I've never played the game, I just watched the Mexican runner.
Yeah, I never thought of making that comparison.
No, that's what I always think of whenever I see that.
Yeah, in these dark rooms, there's supposed to be like this ability, like that ghost
light
that gives you light. And you're supposed to light up the room, but since this is a speedrun, like everything's been memorized already, so there's no need to ever get it.
Halo dudes with glasses.
Halo dudes. Oh, okay.
Kinnin guessing right on the sun, which I would never do. Like, even if you told me sun was first, I'd go moon.
Oh, I would just stay in the middle. Like Speedman, stay in the middle. No guessing involved. And no, basically all it is just doing high jump right next to them. Be careful not to run into their hitbox.
So that little cancel does damage as well, and that really comes into play on the Krakow fight, but it minorly impacts this one as well, because I think you can miss like one of them and still get the kill. Not entirely sure, but it's really easy to do, because you can just mash B without even thinking. As long as you guess properly. I'm just saying guessing to make MK Cocoon really mad.
So right now, Kinnen's just using a UFO ability. The UFO ability may be weaker in this game, but it was incredibly powerful in Kirby's Adventure, and the whole thing about it is that you could only use it on that level by itself. Unfortunately, Kinnin losing Tornado there.
That's got a little asterisk next to it because of the UFO glitch, but that's a different game.
Yeah.
So as long as this is like a normal run, I guess you could say, without any hiccups, this is the one and only time you see UFO. So
there are some crazy ideas involving UFO, but I don't think we'll ever see that in a tournament.
I think MK Cocoon went for it in the in one of his earlier races where he had an easier match.
Okay.
So what we're talking about is just doing a sequence break in a later level that uses UFO, and it saves like 5 seconds.
And if you miss it, it's like, I don't know, I guess not that big of a deal.
It's not that bad because typically you have Spark for that room, but it's not like you need it. You can just slide over the bomb blocks to break them in this game.
So Kinnin is on interesting. What I think is interesting with the double Poppy Bros fight. And you do a Spark, and it just so happens that the jump that Poppy Bros does is just high enough for you to just sort of sit underneath the Spark.
Yeah. Also, the Poppy Bros have bananas for shoes. Look at it.
And there aren't like too many patterns that the Poppy Bros can do, so I would say it's like a pretty consistent fight.
Yeah. So now Kinnin's in the everyone's favorite room right now, the big airship room. It's pretty cool. It's the only level in the game to have the wind blowing to the right in it, and it's the only level that has this little effect, pretty much constant. But it's over just like that. You get to the star and you don't have to deal with it anymore. And those enemies are a bit annoying to get past. So you saw Kinnin taking some damage there, especially after he lost Spark. So another thing, I just was thinking that Kinnin's gained a lot of time off of Speedman's goal games. You can actually press both A and B to activate the jump on the goal game. I'm not sure like if every runner knows that, but like they should, because it's kind of important. You get like 2 chances to get the short bounce. Yeah, Kinnin's got wheel now, so pretty, again, straightforward. It's actually faster to unwheel and wheel again after each one of these little platforms, because you get horizontal velocity when you start wheel, but not when you change direction. So now Kinnin's got Spark for Fan. This is a really interesting fight. You can kind of do it a few different ways, but like Kinnin spaced well, and he was able to kill Fan. So now, this is the one time we're seeing Throw in this run. He's actually going to keep it for the Meta Knights fight, because earlier I mentioned it pretty much makes all of your inhaled enemies double stars. And that's really useful with Meta Knights, because you can actually shoot like 2 or 3 of them at once, and also go through projectiles. So now we see both runners with Throw. Little invincibility candy room right there. So fairly easy to get through.
Yeah, so now we're going to see Kinnin use the throw ability. It's basically almost like inhaling, except everything, yeah, as Chooch said, everything you throw out is a double star. So like that right there, that's useful for clearing those 2 enemies.
Ooh, Kinnin spitting out Burning there. I think that was an accident, because he's really going to want it for this upcoming room. I mean, there's the one right there. So like I was saying, you can't burn through spikes, but the hitboxes on the spike tiles are like really small, so it's no worries really. Kinnin down to 1 health. It's actually
kind
I
of
see that a fair amount on this level.
Kind of scary with the. Let's see how this mini boss goes.
It's fairly easy here. Really consistent. You just ooh, annoying pattern.
That was.
He gets followed all the way.
Kinnin electing to go for a switch here. Even though this is an 8% run, 100% the difference is that you hit all these switches, but the reason why he's going for it is because it recovers his health.
Yeah, and he finishes the game with 84% now instead of 83. Yeah, regular any percent run with no switches is 83%, so I guess it's also like low percent.
Yeah, I guess so.
If you're into that kind of thing. Yeah, so that light enemy that Speedman just killed, all it does is light up dark rooms, and that's like 3 total rooms in this entire game.
Wait, what's the third one?
I don't know. There might only be 2. I don't know, because there are like none of them.
Alright, so now they're both onto the Krakow fight, and this first phase is this like really long vertical section. And the spacing of these platforms, maybe unlike the original Kirby's Adventure, is that they're a little bit less than the full high jump distance. So doing this part optimally requires like good timing on these high jump cancels. Alright, so Kinnin's done with Krakow. As Chu said, the cancel animation also does damage, so you'll hear 2 separate sounds for hitting these runners hitting Krakow with high jump.
Yeah, if you miss just 1 cancel, then it takes an extra jump. So I think optimally it's 5 and 5.
Nice.
Speedman with some smooth backup right there.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so one thing we should say about the gold game, or not the gold game, the star rod grabs after each of these bosses, is that once you hit it, you lose control. And then if Kirby is not in the center of the room, he'll walk slowly towards the center. So optimizing sort of the way you pick it up is sometimes important.
Yeah. You kind of want to kill enemies in the middle of the stage. And it's interesting, because in the Shine and Bright fight, the Sun and Moon, like, wherever they were, they, like, crash into each other in the middle, like, and they meet halfway between where they are. So, that's where the star spawns. Also, after killing the Sun and the Moon, there is still light in this game, so a little bit of a continuity error.
Alright, now Kinnin's got the ball ability, which is a really interesting one from pretty much just this game / Kirby's Adventure.
I think it only is. Like, these are the only 2 appearances of ball.
And the main idea is that when you're in ball form, you fall and bounce really, really quickly. And that actually allows you to do a ton of damage to bosses and mini-bosses. So as you can see there, Kinnin just took out Bonkers in 2 hits.
Yeah.
And what the time that you're vulnerable is when you're going slowly with balls, like at the top and bottom of your bounces.
Yeah, however, your damage is actually not proportional to your speed. So if you're moving really fast with ball and like you're blinking, that's how you can tell that you're going to do damage. It doesn't matter, like, if you're falling at your maximum velocity or like you just started ball thing. I don't know. But that's a little interesting fact. So that actually is very useful in the DDD fight and 7-2. We're actually going to see ball a decent amount from here on. It's very good for killing bosses, because like Swordsman Kirby said, the boss's health gets greater over time, so we can't like cheese them with double stars. Kinnin taking the very safe strats down the spike chute there.
Yeah, health in this game, like health pickups don't come very often, so it's important to really, I guess, minimize damage throughout the run. Like
Yeah,
you saw
and
Kinnin,
pickups are.
yeah, like Kinnin elected to like even go for a switch and lose the time it takes to hit a switch just because of like the lack of health.
Yeah, I went to the moon in the last level when I raced Halo Dude, because I'd already lost and I was low on health and I got the ball mix. So I said, let's go.
Yeah, I always thought the routing for these Meta Knight fights is interesting because
I was just about to talk about that.
the way that these enemies spawn, like one enemy, like a specific enemy will spawn when another specific enemy is defeated. So it's important to like sort of keep them spawning simultaneously. I don't know how to really describe
Yeah, as long as you keep the order, you know exactly what enemy's going to spawn next and where. It's really convenient when it comes up, and like we said earlier, it's a lot easier to kill with ability lists, because burning takes like 2 or 3 hits on each of these enemies. Yeah, we grab ball again here, because it lets you fall through a secret door, like little chute thing really quickly. Speedman going for speed strats.
Whoa.
Have you seen those before?
Yeah, but it's a lot of, I think I've seen a lot of people give up on those strats.
I didn't bother learning it. So yeah, ball's mostly kept for this room right here that Speedman's in, because you just fall through it. And you'd like to have ball where Kinnin is right in here, because you can 2-hit Fire Lion, which is the mini-boss right here. Again, you can double star those enemies, but it won't kill. Sword is the backup.
Yeah, I should just say that in the previous level in 5-4, the way that they enter the extra level, or end of the level, is actually like a secret path, but it turns out to be shorter. Like a secret path that leads to the switch in that level, but it actually turns out to be faster even for any percent.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, because you have to go through a whole, you have to go through an extra room if you do the regular path. And then it's further down the level.
Alright, so Speedman able to keep ball all the way until Fire Lion. Very, very quick fight.
So right after Kinnin finished this is very easy wheel section right here. See if he goes to the flywheels. I doubt he will.
Nope.
Kinnin. But we're going to see our first like necessary mix of the game, because the upcoming boss is Heavy Mole, and he's really hard to kill with wheel, and he destroyed a bunch of blocks on the ground with wheel as well. So you're going to actually try and mix 2 wheelies and get the first frame, which is hammer. So as long as you hold down an A at the same time when you like inhale the enemies, you are guaranteed the first frame, and Kinnin's having some trouble getting both of them right now. But just like that, he gets hammer.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky because you have to jump through this 1 tile gap in order to inhale both those enemies.
The timing is surprisingly tight.
Yeah, like Cheech said, these mixes are bufferable, so like once you've got the enemies inhaled, it's not too difficult to get the mix itself. It doesn't require the timing that you need for, like, for example, when Kinnin was trying to do the wheel mix. So Speedman getting that mix first try. So
stood out to get him a decent amount of time back, because Kinnin failed that.
Yeah.
A few times.
Yeah, not too much to say about the Heavy Mole fight once you get hammer. Basically just hit it, don't get hit by the spiky balls.
Yeah, you have to just take a while though, because Heavy Mole's a lot of invincibility frames when you hit him with hammer. I think it's only hammer as well though, because like you can actually do a ball mix from those 2 wheelies, which just requires a bit of extra learning and timing. But I think you can hit him like more frequently with ball.
Huh, interesting.
Because he like destroys the tiles above and below him, so you can just bounce really easily.
I see.
Kinnin with some clean movement there, making sure to inhale that crash enemy, because it's a crash enemy to cause that lag on the screen. So yeah, Speedman's entering World 6, Kinnin's already... Sorry, Speedman's entering 6-2, Kinnin in 6-2, because I really consider the start of World 6, like, right here when you pick up Tornado, because it is pretty indispensable.
Yeah, the name of the game for World 6
for free.
Yeah, the name of the game for World 6 is get Tornado and then keep it as long as possible.
Yeah. You want to really keep it from 6-2 to 6-6 until you have to, like, purposely drop it, so... Yeah. Tornado is going to be used to kill Bonkers, because we just want to keep it for the next few levels. Taking that Sparky there, I'm sure, would kill Bonkers a lot quicker, because it takes 8 hits with Tornado, and you have to maneuver your way out of, like, hitting him, like with Kirby's body.
Yeah, Tornado is actually nerfed in this game, and yet it's still very useful for World 6.
Yeah, in the same way that like Return to Dreamland was Wing the game, Kirby's Adventure was like Tornado the game.
Yeah.
But like, Tornado gets you through a room with a ton of enemies, like Kinnin just showed us right there.
Yeah, if you're interested in 100% runs, this is where 100% greatly differs from any percent, because in World 6, every single level has a switch, so you might see these alternate paths and wonder what they're for. There's probably going to be a switch behind each of those alternate paths.
Yeah. So Kinnin's in the most, I guess you could say, volatile spot for Tornado, because this really makes or breaks it right there, because you can lose your ability in multiple spots. Your star breaks if it is in the water or if it hits those spikes. So it's much better to play it safe than sorry here. Kinnin is in the nut shack right now. As long as you move properly, you don't get hit by any of those nuts. Now he's in the horizontal nut shack. I celebrated its birthday on commentary the other day.
Nut shack or Kinnin?
Nut shack. Kinnin. Yeah, and there are a lot of conveniently spaced Tornado rooms. Like, Kinnin just, if you use Tornado once in that first room in the level that Kinnin's in, it puts you literally right on top of the door. Also grabbing the health there. Yeah, 3 tornadoes takes you right to the door here in the room that Kinnin's in. So you can see just how useful it is because of how many enemies are in that room. And the runners, barely, like, less than a level apart. So we really don't know what's going to happen until, Kinnin coming short right there to the door.
Yeah, these UFOs can be a little bit annoying. But what Kinnin wants to do, the UFO is not really so much for its attacking abilities or anything like that, but it's going to be useful in this room where he has to fight 2 Frosties. And he's going to take one of their ice cubes and make a double star of it. And that takes care of the fight really quickly. So entering that fight with an ability makes it, I want to say, fairly consistent. You do need one of the Frosties to throw an ice cube. I would say that's pretty likely.
It's very likely. Yeah, 6-6 is brutal because they put you through a double mini-boss fight. Like, Kinnin chose the lower path right there, and you might be wondering what's on the top one. It's just a double Poppy Bros fight.
Yeah.
And, yeah, double Frosty gives you an ice block more consistently than, I think, the bomb. So I guess that's why they do it there. Never really questioned it. But after Poppy Bros, there's an extra room that you have to go through that's really annoying. It's longer than the water room.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to see Kinnin reset here. And it's just to get full health before entering Meta Knight.
And it gives you 2 lives, so you might people see you. What the hell is English? You might see people do that when they have 0 lives left.
Alright, so pretty good Meta Knight fight. For that fight, you can only use sword, and you don't lose sword if you get hit. So pretty much just straight up have to do the fight only with sword, nothing else. And Meta Knight can block randomly, but Kinnin got a pretty clean fight there. Yeah, Speedman was at 1 health and just took a quick death at the beginning of that Meta Knight's fight.
Yeah. So, ice physics in this game, like... The Meta Knight... Okay, first of all, Kirby's really light, so he does not handle on ice very well. But, like... I guess I totally forgot that they programmed ice physics into this game, and then they got to World 6 and like, oh, kind of forgot to use those. Let's just put this in this Meta Knight's fight. And like at the same time that happened, they also remember that they haven't used the invincibility candy in like 3 worlds. So they put it in the room after the Poppy Bros, but you don't even see it in the speedrun. So, yeah, they kind of forgot about some features of this game, I feel like.
Kinnin did a ball mix in the last room of 7-1. Once again, like a first frame, like bufferable mix. And this is the infamous boss rush.
Ooh.
And I want to say each of these take 3 hits with ball.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, and you pretty much have to do it in one go. You have no health, pickups, and there are 4 of these bosses that you have to go through. Alright, so Speedman also getting the same mix.
Oh, I should probably say the very clean Bugsy, and Bugsy almost grabbed him there. Because you can actually grab Bugsy can grab you without you having to be inside of him, so I think his attack is actually bigger than his body.
Alright, now we're coming up onto Fire Line. Alright, Kinnen's through.
Relatively clean.
Kinnin just wants to take his time, so he makes sure not to inhale both the star and the mini boss. Because he wants to get burning for this last part here. Alright, let's see how it jumps.
Every other Kirby game, if you inhale an enemy and the star, you're going to get the star ability over the enemy.
Let's see how Speedman does.
He took 2 hits on Bonkers, I think, just like Kinnin.
Yeah. Yeah, these bosses are strong and annoying and random.
Except Bonkers, actually, but...
Yeah, but the other 3...
Yeah.
You can lose a lot of time on them.
Like this.
Speedman just taking his time on the spawn. This could be bad.
7-3 is relatively unexciting, so we're not really talking about what Kinnin's doing right now. They give you another
Speedman is trying to get Bugsy to do the floating pattern, which is the safest option. Unfortunately, this is not good.
Oh no. That's like the humiliating one, because you're just getting your head slammed into the ground with, and you know you're dead, but then it only does damage at the very end.
Yeah, now the big issue is once you die, you have to wait for the mini-boss to throw out stuff that you can throw back. And typically they have multiple patterns, but just one that gives you something to throw.
Mega Troll from Bugsy right there.
Man.
Also, 0 lives left for Speedman, so he's definitely sweating right now. The rooms that Kinnin's going through right... Oh no! The grab range! So yeah, the room that Kinnin's going through right now, like the hands of the clock. Oh, sorry, Speedman!
Oh boy. Yeah, unfortunately, Speedman has to go back to the beginning of 7-2. I guess without an ability as well. So, oh wow, if he's... Oh, okay. Cutter.
I think Sword does more damage per hit, but...
Yeah, well, Cutter, you get that extra distance. Yeah, the store that they're going through skips, I want to say 3 mini-bosses.
Yeah, I did it once, just for fun. Not during a run, obviously, but during practice to see how much longer it was, and it was kind of brutal.
Yeah. Kirby's Adventure, I guess the original one, had a lot of secret doors that were just, completely invisible. It's kind of a surprise that people found it. Just has a lot of hidden doors, and I think this game did a lot better in terms of at least giving a slight hint as to where these secret doors are.
Yeah. Except for 7-6, that one's the same.
Right.
That's just the moon. They expect you to go into the moon. I like that, though. That was a fun one to find. Oh no, Speedman inevitable.
Ooh.
I thought he was gonna. That was inevitable death.jpeg right there.
No,
Grabbing the ability with Bugsy pretty much on him.
I think he was. I think he had some invincibility frames, which is why he was okay. Alright, Speedman's out of 7-2. Yeah, really brutal level that really decides the fate of a lot of speedruns.
Mm-hmm.
Not just in this race setting, but personal bests as well.
Yeah, Kinnin grabbing the health there, smart idea. So you can tell he's gonna go for the ball mix at the end of this level. So 7-6 is the last regular level in the game. And from this on, it's just 3 boss fights.
Alright, so Speedman's on 7-3. Not much, yeah, like you said earlier, not much to say about this. It's just burning straight to the end. Get a candy.
Kinnen's going for the mix now. So this is actually the second tick. So you can't, it's unbufferable. And Kinnen gets it.
First
It's really
try.
just muscle memory.
Yeah. For these mixes, they're as we said at the very beginning of the run, they're 4-frame window. Without really an effective visual cue, so it's, yeah, just muscle memory. There are backups for ball, but that one saves. I want to say it saves like, I think Shasta once told me it saves 8 seconds.
I would believe him on that.
And so now,
Kinnen getting trolled by DDD.
yeah, this is, oh, okay, there you go.
So this ballroom that Speedman's in right now, all the movement of the ball is random. Same with the pigs right here. But the next 2 rooms with the Bronto, Burt, and Fireball enemies is not random. So if you move well, you can get through them.
Yeah.
Without like worrying about where they're all going to be. And speaking about everything being planned out and not worrying about where it's going to be, Kinnen is on the orb fight.
Yeah. And so there's pretty much effectively no no randomness, quote unquote, for the rest of the run for Kinnen on these 2 bosses. This last one, Nightmare, it's just 6 hits. Nightmare might spawn in different places, but it's essentially the same attack every time.
Yeah. So it's the same attacks in the same order, and then he cycles through the attacks once he's done everything.
Yeah.
So it looks like Speedman's going for Spark strats.
Yeah, another option here would be to use Crash, but the way this was designed is that Crash doesn't fully kill mini bosses at this stage.
Spark is designed to eliminate RNG, but like, as you can see, it's not perfect. Speedman struggles a bit with that.
Yeah, this wheel room is quite tricky.
Yeah, especially for newer players.
Yeah, you can easily fall to your death there. Alright, Kinnen's time's coming up for him. Alright, 40-41.
That's a really solid run for Kinnen.
Yeah, I think it's only like 11 seconds off of his PB.
It's also his race PB now. So
Speedman's coming up to the dream. Yeah, GG Kinnen. Speedman's coming up to the Dreamland level 7-6.
Yeah, we didn't quite say that, but we hope everyone figured that out. Alright, so let's talk to Kinnen. Let's force him to join this chat room right now.
Hi, Kinnen.
Hi.
Congrats on your victory.
Ooh,
Thank
death
you.
for Speedman right there.
Oh.
Yeah, but congrats, Kinnen.
Thank you very much. Ugh.
This is why I didn't want to lose to Speedman and when I had to race him, because I knew I'd have to race you at this point.
I mean, this wasn't the best run I've had today, so...
It's your race PB, so that's nice.
Yeah, definitely. My yogurt yard was just garbage at the end there with the mix not getting it. Oh, that was so annoying.
Yeah, Speedman just missed the mix right now. So... I mean, you've ready once, so you're not sweating.
No. I was nervous throughout the race though, because I felt like Speedman had a chance to win. Oh, he forfeited.
Aww.
Speedman.
Dude, he's just mad. I'd be mad if I was in his position right now. Because his times have been comparable to mine for like the past month, so.
Yeah. I'm 10 I'm basically 11 seconds off PB, but
That's what you forfeited.
probably.
No, I
But I could have. I've been having runs that were like -10 out of Orange Ocean, and then just die to Rainbow Resort. So this is basically just me having a run where my Rainbow Resort doesn't fuck me over.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was saying that because I just watched Speedman die to DDD. He's DD dead.
That sucks. It's always the worst when that happens.
Yeah.
How did his run go, actually?
He was doing okay for a while. He was ahead of you for the first 12 minutes of the run.
Yeah, I expected that when I filled the wheel mix. God, I cannot do level 1 movement without wheel anymore. I just can't do it.
Do you just like forget?
Yeah, I'm so used to wheel movement that I don't know how to properly do it without.
Alright, let's drag Speedman into this.
Hey, Speedman.
Hey.
Hey, dude. Sad to hear about DDD.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to hear about DDD.
Oh, DDT's not the problem. It was 7-2.
Yeah, 7-2 is rough.
Yeah.
What happened?
I mean, it was fun. I said I was mad in the race chat, but I'm not really mad. I think I need a break from Nightmare in Dreamland, though.
No, it's totally understandable.
I mean, you would think I would be used to RNG considering the games I run, but it's a lot worse whenever it's 40 minutes into a run.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like up to 7-2, I had a pretty solid run, so I'm happy with how things went.
Good.
You know, you got a kid to take care of too. Also...
Yeah. I mean, a part of me is actually kind of glad I lost, just so I can kind of focus on other stuff and not be committed to this tournament right now. So,
yeah,
I had a lot of fun.
I'm quite amazed how well you've done, like, with everything that you've had to be doing in your life.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's a fun game, and I'm definitely going to stick around for Nightmare in Dreamland, but I need a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
But congratulations to you, Kinnin. I hope you do well in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much. GG to you too.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Speedman, by the way, because like if you compare his PB like before the tournament started to where he is right now, it is such an impressive improvement. Like, it's just absolutely tremendous what he's done in such a short amount of time. Can someone type like exclamation point R in chat and like C as well? Because I don't have it open.
Wait, what?
Exclamation point R.
What does that do? I'm afraid.
It does this, and you also have.
Oh, I see.
That's what it does. Because people are nice here. Haha. I do have to say, I haven't been so nervous for a long time. Just going through that run. It was not... This time was just so garbage. Holy shit.
I know, I think it's... Also, shout out to your blue screen, Kinnin.
Yeah, that's what happens when I turn off my GameCube. After a while, the noise of the fans gets to me.
Yeah. Also, you infected the entire chat with Poyo-ism.
And that was the idea.
And if you don't like have it already, please get PoyoBot on your channel.
If it's still like decently up and running.
Yeah.
Always the question nowadays.
Yep. One time when Kinnin was at BSG for like a week, PoyoBot went rogue.
Oh god. No, that was at ESA, I think. It
was ESA. It was ESA. You're right.
It was absolutely crazy what it was doing, apparently.
That was a weird week for PoyoBot.
Yeah. That's a long time ago. That's 2 years now.
Are you kidding me? No.
That's
what
2 years ago. Yeah, I didn't go to last year's ESA, and I'm going upcoming ESA, so.
I don't know how to feel now. Like, what the heck? Why has it been around so long? Are we this old?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been here for a while. Alright, any closing remarks?
Shoutouts to MK Cocoon for organizing this whole thing. Exclamation point, Kirby for more information on this tournament, and the Discord and the bracket as well.
I do just want to say, thanks again to MK Cocoon. It's been a really fun tournament. I'm really appreciative of him organizing it.
Yeah. Final remarks. When's 39, MK? Alright, I'm out.
Alright, you guys see? Yeah, GG again.
Yo, I'm out!
See you guys.
Isn't there another race today, by the way?
Yeah, there should be another one coming up.
Oh, I don't see it, actually.
Yeah, it's like 10
Oh, there it
PM
is.
or something, yeah.
I didn't scroll. I'm good at things. So anyways, there is another Nightmare in Dreamland race at 10 PM EST if you want to catch that one. That'll be on the main Speed Gaming channel, so look out for that one.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
bye.
See you guys.